to the video. My name is Lys, and today I am joined by my roommate,
Emily.
Today we're going to be talking about our likes and dislikes of the Disney College program, as well as some advice that we have. To start off with, we are going to rate our favorite park to our least favorite park. Now, to be clear, the least favorite doesn't mean we don't like it. It just means that it's our least favorite out of the four. The ranking is from the Walt Disney World Resort, the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Since you're the guest today, I would like you to go first and tell us what is your rankings for the four parks.
Okay, Animal Kingdom is last because there's nothing to do there. Doesn't mean that I don't like it. I like walking around there on my off days a lot just because it's relaxing. Like, I love animals, so I like seeing animals, but there's just not enough to ride there. Ever since they took Dinosaur away, I've kind of had a bone to pick with them. Yeah, they took away my Dinoland, so I'm a little bit salty about that. I really only go for like Flight of Passage. Like, that's really the only ride I will like go on there now. And then third is Hollywood Studios. No, nothing against it. It just happens to be number 3. I love Hollywood Studios. I love Toy Story Land. I love Galaxy's Edge. I love the vibes, the theming of it, everything. Yeah. And then second, it's gonna be Magic Kingdom. I love Magic Kingdom, don't get me wrong. It just can get crowded sometimes. There's lots of kids, but I do still really love it. It has a lot of my favorite rides, a lot of classic rides I grew up loving. And it's probably the one park that I visit a lot here as like a local that I like never get tired of going to. Because I just always get excited going there, so like, yeah. But number 1 is Epcot, because I have a lot of childhood nostalgia tied to that. I just remember vividly walking into like the Land Pavilion and like smelling the smells and like going on Soarin' when I was younger. And also, I also find it very fascinating, like the history behind it and like the innovation. Because it was kind of like Walt's like last big project before he died. He never got to see it come to fruition, but the statue that's in front of the ball of him, it's kind of like he's watching over. So it's just kind of cool to think that his legacy lives on throughout Epcot. And I love how it stands for like, you know, we are all like one people, one world. And I just always thought that was fascinating.
That was a really good list and pretty close to mine, but I'm gonna start from the top and go to the bottom since you started from the bottom.
Yeah,
yes. So my favorite is the Magic Kingdom. I've always been a princess girly, but I've also always been about how the parks work. And I vividly remember the Haunted Mansion being the first ride where I was like, I wonder how this works. I wonder if I could do something like this. And that got me into engineering in college. I got through almost my entire engineering degree, and that's when I realized I was like, this is kind of boring. Could I do it? Yes. Was it boring? Yeah. So I switched to anthropology, and now because of the Magic Kingdom, I want to work at Disney and use Disney parks culture as a way to better Disney guest experience. And that's kind of why Magic Kingdom is first. It was my inspiration to be who I am today, to be honest. Second, I'd probably say Epcot. Epcot is like really fun. I love all of the rides there, like Living with the Land. Yes, Journey into Your Imagination, also very good.
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
That ride needs to be taken out. I don't like that ride.
No, I love that ride.
No, I hate it.
Honestly, that's the first ride I take people on when they've never been.
No, that's wrong. No, don't disrespect me like that.
No, but they have good rides there. Living with the Land, Test Track, Soarin', yes, Soarin'. Guardians of the Galaxy, if you can ride it. I cannot because I get motion sick. But
I don't get
I've
motion sick, but I hate it. It's actually horrible. I hate it, so unpopular opinion.
That is a very unpopular opinion, because whenever I talk to people and be like,
I know, it's their favorite.
It's their favorite.
It's everyone's favorite, so it's awkward. I'm like, well,
yeah,
I'll go on it if they make me go on it, but the whole time I'm like, get me off. I like to have Tower of Terror too, so.
You know, fair enough. Yeah. And that leads me to my third, which is Hollywood Studios. And same way with what you were saying, it's just third. Like, I love it. I love the Star Wars area because I'm a huge Star Wars girly. I can't ride Tower of Terror, but I do love the Tower of Terror area. Like, I love the music, the vibes there are my favorite. Like, I sometimes go there and draw because, like, I like listening to the music and just
the
drawing.
vibes are vibing there.
They are. And then finally, my fourth one is Animal Kingdom. And that's mainly just because, like, there's not much to do there, and they did take out Dinosaur, and that was a disappointment. Mm-hmm. Now to get into our likes and dislikes of the Disney College programs. Move-in day. Move-in day was a huge ordeal. When you first get here, it is a lot more than you think it's going to be. Like, when I first got here, I thought it was just going to be, I get my key, I move in. No, this is going to be, you're getting everything, all information, all at once. What was your experience like?
All right, you guys ready for this? It was August 11th, 2025. My whole world is about to change. I just didn't know it yet. I showed up at 8 a.m. to the check-in area at Flamingo Crossings East. Vividly remember the green space and people lined up on the basketball courts with all their luggage. Everyone's parents just sitting around being like, oh, there are a lot of people here. There's a lot of people who want to do this just like I do. I'm like, oh, that's kind of overwhelming, but also exciting, you know? I was also kind of worried about making friends. And like this girl in front of me like complimented my outfit. So I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean we're friends now? Like, you know, like, yeah, so. But yeah, I would say move-in day is a lot of information thrown at you at once. But once you get through it, there's kind of a sigh of relief. Once you get your room together and meet your roommates and get settled in, it's kind of like hits you like, wow, I'm really here, I'm doing this.
Yes.
It's a cool feeling.
It's a really cool feeling. Like, best advice to be given is just be ready to soak up that information. Be a sponge. Like, there's gonna be a lot thrown at you.
It's a lot.
But you're gonna have a reprieve. You're gonna have time to do your room. You're gonna make friends. Don't worry about that. You're gonna meet people from all over the world. You don't think that's day one, but it's day one when you get here.
It's day one.
Day one. Mm-hmm. Next, we're gonna talk about apartments. So one of the big things is when you get here, you're either gonna be in a 4x2, a 2x2, or a 4x4. Is that correct? Yeah. So
those are rare.
Yeah. So anyway, you're going to be rooming with at least 3 other people. And going into that, you're going to have some roommate problems at some point. And
it's just bound to happen.
They're bound to happen.
Yeah. Different personalities colliding. A lot of people have not been away from like home before, or like they just got out of high school and they don't know how to live on their own. There's just a lot of that like factors into it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously be excited to meet your roommates. You know, when you get there, greet them, you know, like find out who they are, see what they're doing, you know, get to know them, be nice, you know, but just know that, you know, stuff can happen, and ages here range like a lot. So there are people who are 18, there's people who are 22, there's people who are 24, there's people who are 30. And then I heard someone who had a roommate who was 47. It just depends on who you get, who Flamingo decides you get. Finally, we're actually going to talk about our likes and dislikes of the Disney College program. Things you should know, we are still in the middle of our Disney College program. So we are not going to talk about anything specific. We're only going to talk about broad things, but we will touch on our likes and dislikes. One thing that I really like is that I get to be here every day. That is a huge thing for me. I've always wanted to work for Disney, as I said, and getting to get up and go every morning is awesome. That's another piece of advice. don't forget that you're at Disney. You're working at Disney. You get to have a fun time at your job. No matter what position you get to have fun. What about you? What's your like?
Yeah, so no, like she said, I feel very grateful to live here and be able to go to the parks pretty much whenever I want if I'm not working. Like most people don't get to do that, so that's like a really big perk of it. I've met a lot of people. I've honestly met like my best friends here, and it's just been it's helped me grow into like the person I want to be more. This is my first time being away from home. I actually applied to DCP after I finished college, well, right before I finished college, and I was ready to leave. I was kind of felt stuck, kind of ready for something new. And this was just the kind of adventure I needed. Like, it's an adventure. That's really the best way I can describe it.
It definitely
and
is.
It is what you make it. And if you go into it with that attitude, then you're gonna be fine. Then it is what you make it, just like anything else in life.
Yeah, like I see some people who go into work negative and they're like, I don't like working, I don't like being here. And it's like, when else are you gonna get to work here?
Exactly. And
Like,
you get to make a
regular
difference
job.
in people's days.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get to make a magical moment for like a kid or a family, like that means everything. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so special that you get to do that.
Yeah. No, that's like the best part of the day, every day. For a dislike, probably scheduling. And that's probably going to be a dislike for most people.
Mm-hmm.
As a Disney College Program participant, you don't really get much say in your schedule. You'll probably have many scheduling conflicts. If you are doing any of the classes here, like the history classes, or the Disney informational classes, or any of them, to be honest, you're most likely going to get scheduled work during that time. And there's going to be days where you really, really need to be off and you're going to be scheduled. So you just need to work with what you got.
Yeah, like for example, my birthday is on New Year's Eve. I had to work till 3 a.m. on my birthday. So, sometimes that's just kind of the give and trade of it. But you know what? It's worth it because you get to be here.
Yeah, and you're going to work holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
Christmas,
it's worth it.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it though.
It is very much worth it. And that's the thing. You're gonna have days where it's gonna be like, I'm gonna work again, like I'm doing the same thing. It's the same thing when you go to any job.
It is.
Like, again, this is a job, this isn't a vacation.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, I think that's the biggest misconception, is this is a job, not a vacation.
Mm-hmm. And if you go in with the mentality knowing that, hey, this is a job.
But without that being said, it could still be fun, though.
Yeah, like, have fun with it.
But also take it seriously.
But take it seriously.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And scheduling wise, just be ready to adapt. And if you're able to adapt, then you're going to do fine. And some days you won't be able to adapt and you're going to have to work. And sometimes those days aren't fun, but that's just how it goes. I mean, it's like that at any job you get, whether that be, working a job at a bookstore, working a job at a school. Like, that's like any job, really. So finally, we have some final advice and final thoughts. Take advantage of your off days. They're not going to be scheduled with your friends normally, but that's okay. You can still have fun, like single park days.
Yeah.
Like, I go by myself all the time.
To add on to that, I remember when I first got accepted, I did this like Zoom orientation class with like some alumni, and this still sticks in my head. Is this one lady said, don't be afraid to go and do stuff by yourself, even if your friends are not off and can't go, because you may miss out. Like, for example, I did this like activity thing where they went to this goat farm. We got to feed these little baby goats, and it was really cute, and like no one else had off, but I went, and I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, I would never really got to experience it. So that's just something that's always kind of stuck with me. It's like, don't be afraid to go stuff by yourself, meet more people.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna be afraid to do stuff by yourself. Maybe you won't. Maybe you're just cool like that. But if you are afraid to go do stuff by yourself, it is hard to make that first step and be like, I'm gonna go by myself somewhere. But one thing I really like about the Disney parks is it's a safe place for you to go.
It really
by
is.
yourself.
It is.
And going by yourself, you can still meet new people in the parks. You can talk to people in the parks.
And another perk is you can do whatever you want whenever you want. If there's someone in your group that doesn't like going on this ride or like doesn't want to eat here, well, you get to call the shots. That's kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah, and you're gonna need single park days too.
You're gonna need some time to yourself for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Those were our likes and dislikes, as well as some of our advice for the Disney College program. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.